Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. This is Felrose here, bringing you some more Pokemon Go Battle League content. First of all, thank you to my patron supporters. I couldn't be doing this without you guys. Today's video features Shadow Sealeo on the lead, with a Noctowl Trevenant backline. This team is excellent. I have gone maybe 2 negative sets the entire time I've used this team, and it's been killing it the entire season for me so far in the Remix Cup for Great League. So without further ado, we're going to get into these battles here. Basic strategy behind the team is use Sealeo's energy gains from Powder Snow to slap out body slams faster than the speed of sound, and safe swap in a neutral matchup to draw out something that doesn't want to see Sealeo and farm it down if you lose lead. Otherwise, you look to flip switch and just take things out with all those body slams. So we're going to see that today. The overwhelming energy on Sealeo is a fantastic thing. So as we get into these battles here, let's go ahead, jump into the first one. We got Sealeo on the lead versus an Abomasnow. This is an excellent matchup as long as I don't take an Energy Ball. And actually what I'm looking to do here is I'm totally okay, despite not turning on Do Not Disturb before I recorded this set, with going 2 shields if they go all the way up to the Energy Ball. And I'm going to go out for the Body Slam real quick. I need to take the Abomasnow out because it kind of decimates my backline. So we really don't want to see that thing in the back, so that's why we're not swapping at all. They do bait me with the Weather Ball, which sucks, but it's fine. I think this is the only Abomasnow that I faced that bothered to try and bait me with the Weather Ball. But I'll still spend a second shield here just to see what they want to do, and they decide not to shield. So I will spend my second shield here so that I can just farm down. And then once they come in with whatever they've got in the back, I can respond appropriately. So they come in with the Whiscash. So this isn't terrible for me. The only thing they can do is throw a Mud Bomb at me. And so I'm just going to go for some chip damage here. I could have swapped straight out to Noctowl to either force them to throw Blizzards or... I don't know. I don't have shields, so I didn't want to force them to throw Blizzard because that would have made Noctowl mostly useless. And if I swap out Trevenant, they may send in a hard counter. So I look to catch the Mud Bomb here, knowing that they were at 5. And we successfully catch the Mud Bomb on sort of a dirty swap. There's a little bit of lag here, and then they come in with their own Noctowl. So I have energy advantage, but they have a shield. So at this point, it's kind of GG's because even if I can get, I get their Noctowl low enough, Sealeo body slams or farms it down, and then Trevenant just dominates the Whiscash in the back. So pretty much this is just GG's. I'm just going to play this out. My opponent has decided not to top left, thinking that they still have a way out, and I will let them continue to do so as I fling these Sky Attacks at their face. I can't get over how great this team is. So consistent. Noctowl has been the most amazing safe swap as well in the Remix Cup here. I haven't played in the Open Great League. The ban list for Remix is just a lot of fun. So I've just been, kicking it in Remix, enjoying it. And as you can see here, even though when the Noctowl went down, we're able to come in with Sealeo and just body slam this thing into oblivion. And then we swap in the Trevenant just to show my opponent that they can safely top left, and they do. So, fantastic first battle there. We jump into this next one here. We got Sealeo on the lead versus a Skuntank. So, it's a very neutral matchup. I actually don't like this, but at the same time, I can't let this see my Trevenant. So, I do look to go into Noctowl here to see what they want to bring up. They do bring on a Flygon. And it's a Mudshot Flygon, and it's a normal Flygon. So the Dragon Claws aren't going to do too much damage, so I'm just going to opt to no shield and see what my opponent wants to do in this situation, and see if maybe they either want to try to keep switch, or if they don't bother shielding. We'll just kind of see how this plays out. But since this is going to take a minute, just Trevenant too has been an incredible closer. If you can use Noctowl to kind of bait out the thing that Sealeo wants, the thing that Sealeo wants to farm down, typically that ends up opening the way for Trevenant. And even if it's like a Diggersby or even a normal type in the back, those seed bombs add up very quickly. So my opponent opts not to shield here, so I know that I can 2 shield down and win switch, but I will actually no shield this in an attempt to survive the Dragon Claw, knowing that their Mudshots do no damage, and they do hard swap out, and they farm down the Noctowl before I have a chance to respond. So I bring in my Sealeo, knowing that I'm up 2-to-1 shields here, and body slams go out much faster than crunches. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to try to beat this thing down, because, again, I don't want this on my Trevenant. The Trevenant cannot do anything to a Shadow Sealeo, and we get some lag. That sucks. This whole season has been riddled with lag, and I'm just not here for it. And you'll notice, like, these are rank 18 battles. You know, there are plenty of people out right now who have their elos, they're hitting ace, some of you may have veteran rank. I'm okay. I'm not looking to push. I hit legend before the end of Ultra League last season. They come in with the Trevenant, which is not ideal for me at all. I look to catch the Seed Bomb on my own Trevenant, and I can actually get to a point where if I can take their last shield with a Seed Bomb, I can come in with Sealeo and hit it with either the Water Pulse or the Body Slam to take it out. So I'm just going to go straight for the Seed Bomb here. My opponent could have as well, but then they would have had to use up their energy. So I now look to do as much damage as I can before they're forced to throw energy, because they realize that if they don't, they're going to lose. So now, with a very healthy Sealeo, a very not healthy Sealeo, we're going to throw the Water Pulse, close the game out, and that's GG's. But, oh, nope, the Flygon's still there. Now it's GG's. Hit that a little too soon. Alright, so this next battle here, we've got Stunfisk on the lead. So this is actually not great. This thing core breaks my Noctowl and my Sealeo, so they swap out into Abomasnow, and I stay in, because this is where I want to see Abomasnow. They imagine they've probably got Energy Ball. They're going to try to throw Energy Balls to take out my Sealeo, because Sealeo probably beats their whole team, which has been the case. Sealeo, honestly, the reason why it's been doing so well for me is because it breaks almost every core that my opponents are playing. And very, very few teams have been able to handle it properly, which is great. I'm over farming here by quite a lot because I just love storing extra energy, especially on something as spammy as Sealeo with Body Slam. Because that way, if I can take out this Abomasnow, I can either pressure shields and then go for a follow-up Body Slam, or I can have some extra energy on the back end to take out whatever comes up next. So I will again 2-shield here because I do not want this Abomasnow to get on anything else. It'll throw a Weather Ball and it'll hurt. And I actually really want to make sure that, so on the Stunfisk, I wanted to keep my Trevenant on the Stunfisk. So they hard swapped in and they just top left. I guess I must have hard countered whatever they had left there. So that's GG's. Heading into this next one here, we've got a Sealeo on the lead against my opponent's Frostlass. So Frostlass actually kind of breaks this whole team. So the way that I like to try and play this lead is to store up a ton of energy, go to 7, and then catch on Noctowl. And almost every time, I catch a Shadow Ball on Noctowl, which is huge, because now my Sealeo has a ton of energy, and they're going to swap out or stay in. So they're actually looking to come in with a Zweilous, which is fine with me. So this is that thing that did not want to see the Sealeo, so they're going to swap it in here to try and counter my Noctowl with it. I'm going to be able to get off at least a Sky Attack before they can take me out here. And they opt not to shield. So this is perfect for me to farm down with my Sealeo. They throw a move here. It's probably Body Slam. They don't need to throw a Dark Pulse. And it takes me out. But I can't come in with Trevenant here, obviously. So I'm going to come and farm down with my Sealeo. I'm waiting out the clock because I don't want to get caught in against something that I don't want to be against. They throw a move right away, so I know it's just a Body Slam, so I don't bother shielding. And I farm down. You see how much energy? I have almost 100 energy right now. This is huge. And they come in with a Superior. So this is a little bit scary because Frenzy Plants hurt Trevenant even though resisted, and it might have Aerial Ace. And if I play this wrong, Trevenant will take an Avalanche or something that I don't want it to take. So I'm throwing a bunch of Body Slams. This is what I stored up all that energy for, was to just put so much pressure on whatever I have in the back end. And even though their Vine Whips are doing extra damage to me because they're super effective, I'm cool with it. Because I know that if I can get this thing low enough that it takes another Body Slam, they have to now spend their last shield, or the Superior goes down with whatever energy it's got. And so right now I'm going to quick swap, and they also quick swap. Now the problem with this for my opponent is that Trevenant can 1-2 shield. They can farm down a Frostlass and survive and win the matchup. We actually can win the 2 shield if we don't farm, or if we don't throw any moves. So I opted to just farm it all the way down. Now, I think they had gotten to a move here, which actually would have been bad. But my Trevenant does win CMP against Superior, I'm pretty sure. So it would have been fine either way. So I just throw the Shadow Ball for the guaranteed damage, and we take it out. That's GG's. Pretty incredible team so far, I gotta be honest. I have not had very many hard counter teams, and the only losses I've really had to were like this with Probopass. So this thing beats my whole team, and it's running Rock Throw. I really wish that people were running the Spark variant because that's a little bit easier for me to deal with. The fast move damage is ridiculous, but I'm actually gonna come in with the Trevenant here because that's the only thing that I really can come in with, and they opt to stay in, which is fine with me. And I'm gonna go for the Shadow Ball here. I want to get the damage off, and that's it. So I'm hoping I land the Shadow Ball, and look at that, we land it. It's a little bit, it's almost enough to take it out, but they come in with a Victory Bell now, and I'm gonna throw the Shadow Ball. I'm gonna get a shield here most likely from them, but I want the guaranteed, you know, either get the shield or take out the Victory Bell, and that's fine. I could have gotten the 2 Seed Bombs, but I don't really care about a Seed Bomb because I can get all this farm now with Noctowl. And so through farming down with Noctowl, that's going to allow me to leave with at least Sky Attack or a Shadow Ball that I can threaten that Probopass with to either burn a shield or take it out. And I do. So they come straight in with it, but I'm actually looking to farm down with Sealeo to get ahead on energy, thinking that they're probably somewhat weak to it in the back, and they're not. They have a Primeape, but I have so much energy that not even a Primeape can stand up to the might of Sealeo, and I've still got a shield. So my plan here now is to throw these body slams, and if my opponent shields, they take out my Sealeo, and then I come in and with a shield, throw a Sky Attack at the Primeape and win the game. Now, my opponent here looks to have quit the game. I don't think they knew that I had 2 body slams stored, but they just go down anyway. I think that they understood the lose condition, and they just let it go. Oh, that was the last game of the set. So that was a 5-0 to start this video off, and that was pretty incredible. And most of my battles have been like this. It's been like 4-1s, 5-0s, some 3-2s, and I think I've had just 1 bad set out of this team. So heading into this next one here, we've got Sealeo against Dragalge. Now, this is a really kind of awkward lead because those Dragon Tails add up really fast, but my opponent's not swapping out despite taking extra damage from the Powder Snows. So my thought immediately is they're probably ABA weak to Sealeo. So I'm just going to try and throw some body slams, take this thing out. They're going to throw their move at 7. I'm actually going to just farm down at this range. Even though I could have beat them to that Outrage, I'm okay with it because I like to have the extra energy. They throw the Outrage, which I shield, which means that they're basically sacking. Now they're coming with Empoleon. Now they're up as shields, so that means it's going to be really difficult for me to be able to take this thing out reliably. Now I'm going to throw Seed Bombs. There's no reason to go for Shadow Ball. They're both neutral, and Seed Bomb will do enough damage for me to be able to take this thing out if they let one go. But my opponent smartly shields, knowing that they don't need to let any moves through to take this Trevenant out. And my Trevenant is honestly, this is the only answer I have to their Empoleon. You know, this team has been incredible, but there are definitely some things that do counter the entire team. Frostlass, most of the steel types, and Empoleon is a really tough one too. But with energy, we can overcome just about everything, and that's what this team really plays to really well is energy management. Having the ability to pressure with Trevenant and Sealeo, and the Noctowl just makes for an excellent save swap, being able to hit just about anything, honestly, for neutral damage. I'm going to come back in with Sealeo because I have more energy than I know what to do with, so I'm going to let the Empoleon have a little bit of it. And since they're out of shields, I am now in a position where I can now match up my Noctowl swap into their Sealeo. Now, because we're out of shields, I'm going straight for the Shadow Ball, and all they're going to have is Body Slam. So I'm fine because I have all that energy stored on my Sealeo. By just landing the Shadow Ball and letting my Noctowl go down, I don't need to worry about it. I'm in a pretty good position to win this game because the Dragalge has almost no health left. And all I have to do is hit the Sealeo with a Body Slam, and they're not going to have any energy left to threaten mine with this Body Slam as well. So I'm going to come in and throw this Body Slam here, I'm pretty sure, despite hanging on with 1 HP because Noctowl is a beast. I'm going to come in and throw the Body Slam here, and we're going to get it off against the opponent and take out their Sealeo. And then my opponent is coming back in here with the Empoleon. Now my opponent makes an expertly timed catch to get the Body Slam on Dragalge, but they weren't at enough energy for a Hydro Cannon or Drill Peck yet, so they will go down to 1 more fast move, and that's GG's. Alright, coming into this next game, here we've got Sealeo versus Whiscash. Whiscash is one of those things that I love to see because most ground types I have a lot of play against. So I actually am going to stay in here. Now, I noticed that I lost a couple of turns in the beginning, so once I count 5 mud shots, I did want to swap because I was behind already, and I kind of wanted to try and mitigate that. Now, they were at 5. We counted 5. We go back and watch the video at 5, and I want you to keep in mind on that later. So my opponent brings in Shadow Zapdos. This sucks, all right? So I know it's squishy, but all I can do is throw some Sky Attacks because they're likely to shield regardless, but my opponent takes resisted damage from the Sky Attacks and the Wing Attacks. There's no way I can take them out unless I land a 3rd attack, which they're farming me down. they're going straight for the farm. They landed one move, and there was no way that I was going to be able to win this regardless. This is hard counter. There's nothing I can do about it. But my opponent knows that they can farm me all the way down before I can get to another attack, and they do. So they've got 100 energy coming into the matchup, and they've got Drill Peck and Thunderbolt against Sealeo and Trevenant. This is looking horrible, but I've got 2 shields. So I'm looking. They look at me, and they say, you know what, this guy wants to take a bait. So they get me with the Drill Peck, and I could have maybe pulled this out had I not done that, but my opponent is now somehow able to come in with their Whiscash in the middle of in the CMP. So I come in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and they throw. Now 6. There's no way this could be a Blizzard, right? No way. Absolutely no way. Oh my god, they got me with the Blizzard. I don't know how they did it. There must have been some lag in there somewhere, so I just got blasted. And at this point, all I can do is hope to God that whatever's in the back is weak to Sealeo and that I can keep enough health up to deal with it, but there's no way that I win this one. I mean, I had a feeling in the back of my head, and I'm like, man, there's a chance that they're throwing the Blizzard. There's no way that they just throw a Mud Bomb for no reason. But it is what it is, man. State of the game. There's lag. There's nothing we can do about it. I'm shielding this because if I don't, I definitely lose this game. And I don't remember how much energy they're at after all the farm that they had, so I throw the Body Slam right away. I don't think it matters at this point, because what they're doing is they're actually running a double flyer strat, and they come in with Noctowl, and they just get to a Sky Attack, and I don't have enough damage to pressure this, so this is GG's on them, man. Very well played. That Zapdos was awesome. I love seeing Zapdos in the Great League. It's a fantastic pick in this meta, I think. But that's it. All right, that's the end of that one. Let's move into the next one. We got Sealeo on the lead versus Lapras. This is actually a really good matchup because the only thing that they're going to want to throw is a Skull Bash. So I'm going to just farm and 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 farm until they get to 8. And what I'm going to look to do for this matchup is on 8, I go into Noctowl. And typically what I would do, I think this might have been one of my earlier games with that, but I typically will go straight into Trevenant to catch a Skull Bash. Now my opponent doesn't fall for that, so I went into Noctowl anyway. And that might have been a misclick on my part for this particular game. But so they come in with a Frostlass, which is pretty hard counter. I do opt to shield to try and get a shield from them, just knowing that it's going to be helpful for me to bring this into the 1 shield. And they let me get to another Sky Attack. This is great because now they have to 2 shield in order to take me out. And now my opponent's down shields, and I've got a lot of Body Slams ready to go for him. And we've got a Trevenant ready to blast something out of the sky with a Shadow Ball. Or a bunch of Seed Bombs. I don't discriminate. It could be either one. So I know that having a shield advantage in this situation allows my Trevenant to come in and farm it all the way down. So I'm opting to do that. But they come in with the Lapras, and they throw a move, and I'm like, oh no, do they have Ice Beam? I hope not. But they throw Skull Bash into a Ghost type. So I'm not sure if my opponent doesn't maybe know the typings on this. But that's okay. I mean, even if they had thrown Surfs, those are also resisted. But it probably would have definitely done more damage. So I'm going to come in now with Sealeo, and I'm going to start letting Body Slams rip. I don't know what they've got in the back, but I'm about to find out. They've run 2 Ice types so far, so it's kind of a weird ABA type of team. But I'm going for the Water Pulse here to get the guaranteed neutral damage, even though it's not a great move. That's what it's there for. It's stab damage that works, and it's a Machamp in the back. It's a Machamp in the back. Now, here's the problem, ladies and gentlemen, is if that Machamp farms down my Sealeo and throws a Rock Slide, that's game over. So I'm just gonna do it as much as I can. They take the damage from the Body Slam. I'm not getting to another one, but they throw energy, which is huge. So now what ends up happening is I can come in with Trevenant, which is 2 attacks away from a Seed Bomb, get that Seed Bomb off, and take out the Machamp. GG's. Love to see it. Love to see it. Alright. Looking into this next game here. We've got our Sealeo against the Quagsire. So Quagsire's scary. Stone Edge is a scary move. So I'm just going to stay in here. I'm going to just farm a bunch of energy and come into Shield or 2 to Stone Edges, knowing that I can't really safely swap something in here, because if I do, then Trevenant's going to have a counter. There's no way that a Quagsire user doesn't have a Grass-type answer in the back. So I'm looking to just stay in, play this matchup out, and then just kind of go and just play the game from there. And my Body Slams are going to come out much quicker than their Stone Edges or their Earthquakes, so we're just going to keep going and going and going. And I'm just going to let the body slams rip. Let the bodies hit the floor, right? Yes. This Sealeo is so much fun. I spent almost 300k dust on the Sealeo, and it has been so worth it. I have had so much fun with this thing. Probably going to have to save it for Holiday Cup, too. This is going to be an incredible thing to have. Normal Sealeo just doesn't have the same pressure. It's okay, but it a little more bulk, but it doesn't have any move pressure. So they come in with Toxicroak, and I've got 2 answers to the Toxicroak. They come in with Frostlass on my Noctowl. I'm down a shield. There's no way. Oh my god, they get to an Avalanche. There's no way. There's no way, right? There's no way, right? They throw the Avalanche, and we hang on with just a little bit of HP to throw this Shadow Ball at the Frostlass. And this is either going to take him out or guarantee that shield. And we get the shield, which is fine. Noctowl goes down. I'm coming in with Sealeo because the only way they take me out is to dump all of their energy and throw a Shadow Ball, and that's what I'm hoping that they're going to do. So I throw the Water Pulse for some damage, and once they're out of energy, I want Trevenant to come in and farm it all the way down. And it's going to take just a little bit to do that. Now, I'm okay if they throw the Shadow Ball here because there's Toxicroak in the back, right? We know that this is going to be... This is in the bag. This is definitely in the bag, so... I take down the Frostlass, come in, they come in with Toxicroak, I'm farming up to the Shadow Ball, we're going for the Shadow Ball to close this game out. Ladies and gentlemen, this is gonna hurt. Boom! There it is, and that closes this game out. Trevenant sweeping the back. Alright, we got a couple more here for you. I got Diggersby on the lead. Now, I've seen so many Diggersby in Remix Cup, it's been amazing, and this whole team has play against. So they come straight in with Frostlass. I come straight in with Trevenant knowing that I can 2-shield it all the way down, and I don't care if I go down shields because then I've got more seed bombs than that Diggersby knows what to do with, and I'm going to get shields back at some point. So we continue to farm and farm. I'm farming while they're throwing energy. I do throw a seed bomb here, though, to see if my opponent will commit a shield. I wouldn't mind them being down shields. But they let the Frostlass go down. They come in with the Diggersby most likely here because that Diggersby does have Fire Punch. Now, I do farm up a bit because I know that they have no energy. I farm up to 4 so that they don't quite get to the Fire Punch yet. And I'm going to throw the Seed Bomb because that does quite a bit of super effective damage to a Diggersby. And they're throwing the Fire Punch before I can get to another Seed Bomb, which is alright. That's fine. We took out the Frostlass. And now we come with Sealeo, and they got a Cresselia. This is actually not... This is Battle of the Bulk here. We've got Sky Attacks and Shadow Balls versus Grass Knots and Moonblasts. And my opponent's throwing a move here. They're going to go straight for those Moonblasts. There's no reason to go for Grass Knots here. Now, I'm already looking... I'm just going to go straight Shadow Ball. Sometimes a Crest user doesn't bother shielding the first move, so I'm going to take advantage of that. But they've got 2 shields, so I bet that they're probably just going to... They're just going to shield these. So I'm just going to go straight for Shadow Balls despite it. I'm not going to risk baiting here because what I'm looking to ultimately do is use my last shield to guarantee that I get that Shadow Ball off because I know that my opponent, it takes them 7 to get to a Moonblast and then 6 to get to the 3rd Moonblast. And I've got 1 shield, and I've been able to tank them so far. So I'm going to get to the Shadow Ball, no problem here. I do opt to shield this, I believe, so that I can get that move off. Yeah, I do. I am wary, however, of the sack swap. My opponent does not sack swap, despite the timer being up. I'm going for the Shadow Ball here, and this one is going to hurt. On a Cresselia, that's plenty of damage. Alright, so the Diggersby, all it can do is throw a Fire Punch at me. I'm going straight for the Water Pulse. I'm not messing around with Body Slams because I know that even the Water Pulse isn't that great. It's super effective damage, and that's what I'm looking for. So we take it out. Then we take out... Well, we would have taken out the Cresselia, but they decided to quit that one anyway. They knew that they were going to lose. Ladies and gentlemen, that was the last battle. Again, this Shadow Sealeo team has been insane. So many 4-1s and 5-0s. It's been crazy. I'm almost at rank 19, and I'm thinking probably going to save that one for next week in Ultra League. For the next video, we'll see what the ELO comes out to be. Oh, man, this has been an incredible journey through the first 2 weeks of this Great League. And that'll do it for today's video. Let me know in the comments what you thought of today's battles, and if you like this and you want to see more, please like the video and hit that subscribe button. I also offer coaching, advice, tips, and tricks through my Patreon. There's a link in the description, so please check it out. And thank you so much for watching. I'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye.